Turning 18 is supposed to be magical, a passport to adulthood, the keys to freedom, but for some it can feel more like a cage. You're legally an adult, yet treated like a child. The weight of expectations clashes with the yearning for independence. This is the struggle of many 18-year-olds, navigating the choppy waters between being a child and becoming an adult. Imagine this: you've just blown out the candles on your 18th birthday cake. Friends and family shower you with congratulations and well wishes for the future. But underneath the excitement, there's a knot of frustration. You know that despite reaching this milestone, your life won't change much. The rules and restrictions imposed by your parents still hold you captive. This internal conflict is particularly intense for teenagers who have overprotective parents. Every decision, every action is scrutinized and controlled. It's like living under a microscope where even the smallest misstep can result in severe consequences. The message is clear. You're not capable of making your own decisions, so we'll make them for you. Often, it's a seemingly insignificant event that triggers a major crisis. Perhaps you stayed out 15 minutes past your curfew, or you forgot to call your parents when your plans changed. Maybe you spent time with friends they don't approve of. For a teenager desperate for autonomy, these are acts of rebellion, tiny assertions of independence. But for overprotective parents, these small acts are seen as betrayals, confirmations of their deepest fears, that their child is not ready for the world, that the world is a dangerous place, and only they can keep their child safe. The response is swift and absolute grounding, restrictions, and a constant barrage of "what were you thinking?" and "I don't trust your judgment." The punishment may seem disproportionate to the crime, but it represents a much deeper issue: the struggle for control. The parents, clinging to their role as protectors, feel their authority slipping away as their child tries to assert their independence. The teenager, meanwhile, feels suffocated and misunderstood, their every move scrutinized and controlled. Imagine being 18, legally an adult, yet living under a curfew more suited to a 12-year-old. Your social life dwindles, your friends stop calling, and you feel increasingly isolated. Your phone becomes your lifeline, but even that is monitored, your online activity scrutinized. Every conversation with your parents feels like a battle, every request met with suspicion. This constant state of surveillance can have a devastating impact on a teenager's self-esteem and mental health. They begin to internalize their parents' anxieties, doubting their own judgment and feeling incapable of making even the simplest decisions. The message they receive loud and clear is, "We don't trust you." This lack of trust can be incredibly damaging. It undermines the teenager's sense of self-worth and their ability to develop into independent, capable adults. They may become withdrawn and resentful, their anger and frustration simmering beneath the surface. In some cases, this can lead to rebellion as teenagers try to break free from the suffocating control of their parents. So, what's the solution? How can teenagers stuck in this difficult situation find their voice and assert their independence without resorting to outright rebellion? And how can parents learn to let go, to trust their children to make their own choices, even if it means making mistakes along the way? The first step is communication, however difficult it may seem. Teenagers need to find a way to articulate their feelings to their parents, to explain how their rules and restrictions are impacting them. This is not about blaming or accusing, but about expressing their need for more freedom and autonomy. Parents, in turn, need to be willing to listen. They need to understand that their role is evolving, that their children are no longer helpless infants who need constant protection. This doesn't mean abandoning their responsibility as parents, but it does mean shifting from a position of control to one of guidance and support. This is a process that requires empathy, understanding, and a willingness to compromise on both sides. Gap 3S. There comes a moment when the struggle for independence reaches a turning point. For some, it's a heated argument that finally brings everything to the surface. For others, it's a quiet realization that they need to take control of their own lives. This turning point is different for everyone, but it marks the beginning of a new chapter in their journey towards adulthood. It's a moment of clarity, where they understand that they need to stand up for themselves, to assert their independence and make their own choices. This is not an easy process, and it often involves difficult conversations and tough decisions. But it's a necessary step towards becoming a fully fledged adult, capable of navigating the world on their own terms. Gap 3S. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, and it's especially important between parents and their teenage children. Building trust takes time and effort, but it's essential for both parties to feel secure and respected. For teenagers, this means being honest and responsible, showing their parents that they can be trusted to make good decisions. For parents, it means giving their children the space to grow and learn from their mistakes while still providing guidance and support. This process of building trust is a two-way street, requiring patience, understanding, and a willingness to see things from each other's perspective. Gap 3S. Finding the right balance between independence and parental control is a delicate process. It's about understanding each other's needs and finding a middle ground that works for both parties. For teenagers, this means recognizing that their parents' rules are often rooted in love and concern, even if they feel restrictive. For parents, it means acknowledging that their children are growing up and need the freedom to make their own choices. This balance is not always easy to achieve, but it's essential for fostering a healthy and supportive relationship. It requires open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to compromise. Gap 3S. Moving forward, it's important for both teenagers and parents to continue working on their relationship. This means maintaining open lines of communication, being willing to listen and understand each other's perspectives, and finding ways to support each other. For teenagers, this might mean being more patient and understanding of their parents' concerns. For parents, it might mean giving their children more freedom and trusting them to make their own decisions. This ongoing process of growth and understanding is essential for building a strong and healthy relationship, one that will continue to evolve as both parties grow and change. As we wrap up this journey, it's time to reflect on the growth and future aspirations that lie ahead. Both teenagers and parents have navigated the complexities of growing up and parental control, learning valuable lessons along the way. For teenagers, this journey is about more than just gaining independence. It's about understanding responsibility, building trust, and realizing the impact of their actions. For parents, it's a lesson in letting go, in trusting the values they've instilled, and recognizing the maturity their children are developing. Moving forward, it's crucial to remember that this relationship is a dynamic one, constantly evolving with time. Embrace the changes, celebrate the milestones, and continue to support one another. The journey of growth is ongoing, and with mutual respect and understanding, the future holds endless possibilities. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of navigating teenage years and parental control. Here's to the continued journey, filled with growth, understanding, and endless aspirations. As we look to the future, let's cherish these moments and look forward to new adventures. The road ahead is bright, and together we can achieve anything.